All right. I'm going to be enigmatic about things and not necessarily tell you exactly what we do, but tell you something that we really care about, and that thing is infrastructure. Everyone talks about kind of the future of banking, what can be done, the front end part of the equation. Let me just tell you a little thing about scale, right? So we're looking at a very complex system that delivers these amazing services. You can call 311 when your landlord is, busting your chops and so on and so forth. But the thing about scale is that you never know exactly what's going to come and bite you in the behind. So take a moment like Sandy, right, where a couple of systems, were hit with this one little glitch that was the hurricane. Things that, millions, if not billions of dollars were poured into to prevent these kind of failures failed, right? And so scale is something that we don't do well. When we think about, places where we're going to, park, hundreds, if not thousands of taxis, we don't think that these sort of places should be protected against floods, right? But I'm not going to be as pessimistic as I would want to be. I just say scale is the sort of thing that we kind of need to reinvent ourselves constantly to combat. Take, say, the container and shipping industry. I mean, if you haven't done it ever in your life, I would really advise just going to the Port of Newark and just sitting out and seeing things come in and out of one of these, massive cargo container ships. It's a real feat of humanity. It is a beautiful thing. Or take, say, an airport. We walk through in and out pretty seamlessly these days, but when you think about the complexity and the different kinds of organizations that really navigate paths in real time in the air so that these vehicles don't collide into each other. And one of my favorite kind of true testaments to human ingenuity, the folks designing the first mainframe computers had no idea that we would have billions of these devices in our pockets, right? And then we come up with things like TCP/IP and the sort of stuff that lets us syndicate, basically connectivity across the entire globe. And so, there's been a movement in technology, mostly because of kind of all of us needing to be on the internet all the time. I'm seeing people typing up on their laptops while I'm talking, which is cool, because I'm on the internet all the time too, just a joke. But that requires a tremendous amount of operational maturity. And Google really led the way in this regards, right? The notion and the term of a site reliability engineer, that came about when, when you're casually using 3 to 4% of the world's electrical kind of power, right, serving up queries. You need to be able to do specific kinds of things. You need to be able to kind of do away with the special touch of the sysadmin that logs into the computer and installs the software. You need to automate the heck out of this. And for data, despite how much people are raving about it, despite how important it is to everyone, we still think about data kind of like a library. Talk to a bank, talk about their data assets. Nothing's on tap. Everything kind of gets checked out. Talk about data prep as if we need to do something special to it before it flows to whatever project or job or service. And that is something that bothers us at Enigma. And we just want folks to think about it. And so today I came to just kind of highlight this trend. I think very much so what's been happening in development operations is basically going to happen in data. We need data pipelines to be just as scalable, transparent, and automated as the very means through which we provision computers. And we need data to no longer be the concern of a specific analyst or a division, but the entire organization's concern. And so I have but 5 minutes of time, and I just ask you guys to think about that very seriously. We do that at Enigma in a variety of ways. One, we've collected the world's largest repository of public data because getting access to content we know is very valuable. And two, we help folks with the infrastructure that they need to just move data around in the organization. So with those two very simple thoughts, I leave it up to you and to think more about really scaling data operations in the next 10 years. Thanks.